Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror at Highrook. I'm Disturbing Puppets. This was a game that was in early access and then kind of slipped into full release without me really noticing. And October seems like a pretty good time to check out any kind of spooky games that come along. So we're going to check this out, see how it looks. If it is cool, I might do more videos on it. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to jump in and start a new game. I've messed around with this a little bit just to test and make sure it works. And everything is fine, but that was all. Highrook Estate. Highrook, an aristocratic eyrie of cold rock and rain, a melancholy shadow overlooking the port of Black Sands. At the summit of its gray cliffs lies the crumbling edifice of Acheron House. I do love the art in this game, it's very cool. The Acheron family. Once respected by the city elite, the Acheron family fell from grace to become the subject of snide remarks and scornful whispers. Lord Acheron was a prominent book collector whose increasing interest in the occult saw him driven from respected academic practice. It is rumored he turned to the Seeker's Communion for support shortly before his family's enigmatic disappearance. The Seeker's Communion is a secretive organization of mystics, seers, and exiled scholars. This clandestine group supports occult practices across the city and facilitate a black market for arcane goods. Officially banned by the Black Sands Council, the collective continues its work in the shadows. Council investigation. The vanishing of a noble house, however disfavored, cannot go unexamined by the Council. The Black Sands Mayor, Lord Alliston, has commissioned a cross-guild team to investigate. A dilapidated stagecoach deposits the party at Highrook. The rain echoes eerily through the empty halls. So this is very similar to a board game, kind of like Arkham Horror. Although there is like a house you have to go and check out and do different actions in different rooms, trying to find clues of what happened to the missing family. Probably something horribly horrific and Cthulhu-esque, Lovecraftian in its machinations. Kind of a maybe if Darkest Dungeon, if the family had disappeared and then a team was sent in to investigate like shortly thereafter, and there was an organization of mystics and wizards and occultists. So maybe some BPRD influence from Hellboy, that kind of thing as well. We hide in the shadows of the world beyond. Adage of the Deep Spire Church. Alright, so we'll go through this fairly quickly. I did look at this and read through all of this. We'll probably skip some of it. Welcome to the Horror of Highrook, a card-crafting cosmic horror board game. Definitely more of a board game, I think. You control a team of investigators sent to examine the disappearance of a noble family from their ancestral home. To progress through the game, you must combine characters and items in order to complete tasks across the ancient estate. Experiment and explore. There are many mysteries to unravel. If you reach a dead end, turn your attention elsewhere for a while and try something else. A small set of introductory tasks are listed to the bottom left to help you get started. You can close this window now, work things out as you play, or read through the sections in the guide to learn more about the game systems. And we can always jump into this whenever we want to. So the game board gives you an idea of like different rooms and different tasks we can do, their attributes, and those might tie to things on our character sheet. Cards, so there's like character cards, tasks, support items, all that kind of stuff. We'll just kind of jump through. Different tasks. Everything on this is sort of like on a real-time timer, but we can pause whenever we want. I would kind of prefer it if it was actually turn-based, but we can kind of live with it. Characters, we'll take a look at our characters before we do anything crazy. So injury, how hurt they are, fatigue is how tired, so we might have to like rest at different times. We also have to worry about hunger and madness, so we might have to feed them and then maybe give them breaks from the craziness. Timers, top right, so the sundial up here displays current in-game time, so it's like 5 in the morning, I guess. And the number of days you have to complete the manor. Days you've been in the manor. Okay. You can use the keyboard buttons to control speed. We can pause and unpause. We'll probably be pausing a lot. Just kind of play it almost like it's a turn-based. Beneath the sundial is records. We can look at different cards and stuff, so we can keep them off the board, basically. So we're going to go ahead and pause right away, so nothing crazy is happening. So we can look around. There is kind of an outdoor area to the manor, but mostly we've got this. We can zoom in. This is as far as we can go. So we're starting in the courtyard. We've got access to archives. It's not super clear where we can enter and move to and from. Like, is there an access from the kitchen to the archives? How do you get to the archives? I don't even see a room like a door in and out. Unless that's supposed to be the door there, I guess. Maybe we can just kind of play people wherever. It doesn't really matter about access. So we can click on stuff and get a view of things. So courtyard. Crumbling courtyard is intended to keep visitors at bay and deliveries sheltered. Crimson brambles scramble chaotically across the neglected herb garden and clutch at the cracks in the old stone walls. No tasks available. Don't have to worry about anything. Place a root task card in the slot. Root seed stir amongst wooden fingers clutching at the soil. So maybe we can get some herbs or something later. Just for what we can see, and we'll kind of take a look at our people and kind of go from there. So archives, probably the more interesting one. Boxes of artifacts and trinkets, the British old spelling artifacts, way down the dust-laden shelves, some locked and others spilling open. Between the creaking stacks, books and folders lie piled in moldering heaps like papery stalagmites. Nothing we can do at the moment. Machine room, kind of odd for a house, but I guess maybe there's pumps and stuff. The acrid smell of engine oil permeates the space, propagated by hidden fans and snaking ducts. Mechanical computers hum softly, anchored with cables like molten roots, their punch card ports eager for data. Old punch cards. Up here we've got the dining room. What should be a convivial space is ruined by the presence of disturbing claw marks across the main dining table. Well, that's not a good sign for where the family went. And the kitchen, the least noble yet most welcoming room in the manor. Its ancient stove still functions well enough to allow meals to be prepared and drinks to be brewed. That's all that's about close. There's a well house, cliff top, so we must have cliff. I have no idea what composer. We've got temporary storage if we want to put items and things out there. We've got guest rooms, a chapel, cellars, always a good place to start looking. Child's room, schoolroom, laboratory, lord's chamber, study, and forge. Can't do anything in the outer part. Let's take a look at our characters before we check out the other stuff. So we have Atticus Hawk. So this is one of our characters. A recalcitrant bundle of sinew and muscle, Hawk's blunt manner is as intimidating as his stature. An orphan of the Alderworth docks, he works for others only when the arrangement suits him. So we have no problems with anything. We're a tiny bit hungry. Skill, secrets, sensation, roots. So kind of tied into that. Victuals, so cooking stuff, I'm assuming. Devices, paths. Scholar Vitali. An occultist of high standing, Titus Vitali is a shuffling encyclopedia of arcane lore. His knowledge of forgotten tongues and ancient tomes makes him a formidable yet rambling consultant. So, memories, secrets, incantations, songs, dreams, mysteries. I'm assuming that we'll increase our stats and stuff as we go through, maybe as we use them. Mechanist Aster. A professor of mechanics at Venatus College, Jane Astor has established a reputation through the construction of experimental, semi-autonomous devices. She's obsessed with the working of things, treating the world as an elaborate clock to be dismantled and rebuilt. So yeah, we've done everything. I'll just unpause and pause again, just to kind of do that. I don't think it really cares. Open the supply crate, forage in the cliff tops, eat a basic meal. Forage and cliff tops. We haven't even been able to get over there, so we can't even see, or can we? I guess we can. I guess since we can see it, we can take a look. The freezing cliffside is punctuated by sparse gray trees and treacherous paths. Scrawny goats and ragged seabirds weave in and out of the salt mist. The smog of black sands rises up in the distance. Path. The golden trail of sunrise reflected on the sea. So archives, we looked at the kitchen, dining room. We didn't look at the guest room. The mattresses are uncomfortable. The bed linen is moth-eaten, but sleeping here still offers some respite. So if we need to, we can rest over there. Again, nobody was had any real problems. You're a tiny bit hungry and tired, and you're totally fine. Okay. Let's zoom on in. I feel like zooming in, it looks nicer, but I might lose track of the bigger picture. So we want to open the supply crate, forage, eat a basic meal. We've got the council missive. I guess we could look at that first. Council missive. Dear investigators, by order of the High Council, you're granted license to commandeer Highrook Manor and its associated facilities. You have been commissioned to investigate the disappearance of the Acheron family, the owners of the estate, who were reported missing several days ago. The Acherons were well known in the city, and their vanishing is concerning, especially considering a rumored affiliation with the Seekers' Communion. Please treat evidence you find. Please treat any evidence you might find as confidential and report immediately to the Council when your task is complete. A news report is included to provide further context of this unusual event. I see Mayor Alston is as conceited as always. His presumptions that all city events require his involvement is so tiresome. I suspect that Bleakhurst has been involved more for political point scoring than out of respect for our knowledge, but perhaps I can track down the books that Acheron borrowed from us last year. Vitali sighs and rolls his eyes. Indeed, Vitali. I'm equally tired of Alston's petty machinations. The High Council provides us with the bulk of our funding, and as such we're obligated to respond. At least they provided us with some tools to begin our work. We should take the supply crate to the machine room where I can extract its contents. I don't much like Allison either, but he pays well, and I certainly don't trust bookworms like this Acheron chap. Nothing but trouble in all those old tomes. Absolutely understandable. Like, about all of the Evil Dead stuff, because of someone reading from a book. Atticus shuffles impatiently. Let's find these upmarket fools and get out of here. I'm assuming they're all dead, or in another parallel dimension, or they've been devoured by some, I don't know, Hound of the Tindalos type stuff. Spoken like a true Aldworther. Vitali shakes his head dismissively. Don't worry, my friend, you'll be away from the bookworms and back with the woodworms soon. Fewer insults, more action. Our remaining colleague, a doctor from Cane Cross, will be joining us tomorrow. We should prepare for her arrival. Astor draws a mechanist key driver from her belt and approaches the crate. So, do we have to move? It said to the machine room, so maybe like the item has to go there, and then she would go there to establish starting the task. Supply crate, a burnished metal crate of investigative equipment provided by the High Council. It's sealed with an elaborative mechanist lock. We will need to open this to the machine room. We'll need to take this to the machine room in order to open it. We can perform a task with this card in the machine room. Okay. This. Vanishing at Highrook. The Acheron family, one of the city's most eligible houses, has disappeared under suspicious circumstances this week. A delivery boy from Direwich Market is reported to have discovered the family's absence when he arrived at their Clifftop Manor to deliver tinned fish. The boy, who has subsequently been treated for delirium, is reported to have spoken about seeing the place as if struck by a storm. The Acheron family were not immediately found by local tollsmen, and their servants, a maid, and an estate warden also have been missing for some time. The High Council announced it has commissioned a cross-guild team to investigate this disturbing occurrence of vanishment. Alright, into the records we go, and we can always access that later if we want to. We can order by time. That's actually pretty good. Probably by time, as we progress through, I would assume would be more helpful. We could have put it probably in temporary storage or something as well. No idea what this is going to do. Alright, so we want to move the supply crate. We'll have to drag it over, and then we'll have the mechanist. Is it just going to automatically do that? Go over. I'm assuming we're going to want to have time pass. Is there anything else I can do, or is that going to be instant, do you think? I'm just going to unpause it here for a second. Nope, something's going on. Opening the crate, step 3. Click on the room or its title bar, and then select Task in the inspector panel to the right. Okay. So, task card, supply crate, mechanist Astor. So, requires 1. She has 1. No support cards played. That's fine. Let's go ahead and start. So it's in progress. Do I have a progress bar anywhere or anything? Okay, there. So it's actually filling up at the top of the room. Can anyone else do anything? No tasks. I feel like Scholar Vitali, if we sent him to the archives, is there anything you can do? Like, if we send you there, now that you're there, no task available. Can we explore a room? Nope. Can't put you in a room we don't know about the location of. It might just be having me do this to show me first before it's going to let me do anything else. Just kind of interesting. Alright, let's just kind of run this out. Highrook Manor, day 1. Not sure if this is really supposed to be there anymore. I'd like this to go away, but whatever. So we're just going to hang out while this is going on, apparently. Since I have nothing else I can do, which is kind of odd. Science prevails. So we found a whole bunch of stuff. I think we'll take a look at the note first. We need gear it looks like we can equip. Equipment note. Following items have been packaged and assigned to your team. Please use them as instructed. Spyglass. A high-quality binocular set from the workshop at Ashburg intended for use in hunts or expeditions. Night lamp. A soporific nightlight from the Mechanist Workshop of Venatus. Its gentle hum and soft light promotes slumber even in disturbing surroundings. Okay. Library Codex, provided by the scholars of Bleakhurst, a catalog of archive-filling systems and nomenclature. Good luck in your investigation. So, can I do something like, we have the guest room, can I put the nightlight in here to do anything? Does that do anything? A Mechanist lantern from the Venatus Workshop. This clockwork heart produces a hypnotic hum when activated. The soporific sound, combined with a soft scattering of dappled light, is guaranteed to induce sleep. The art of sleeping reduces the fatigue of all characters present in the room. It may also provide with either the romantic or mechanical inspiration. Not sure if that's romantic. We can perform a task with this card in the guest room. Okay, so maybe we have to set it up first or something. The spyglass. So we can do something with the cliff top. A pair of ornate binoculars composed of burnished brass fittings and oil-smudged leather. The lenses stain the world a watery blue, but their magnification and focus are impressive. So if I wanted to do that, I guess we put that there. I don't care. I don't know if it matters where it is in the room, but to do an action, maybe it has to be there. So that can go to cliff top. So I think we'll just go ahead and slap that in there so we're ready to do that. Library Codex, I'm assuming in the archives, yeah. A well-thumbed index from Bleakhurst College describing the canonical organization of archives and texts. It should allow us to locate useful items within the organizational chaos of the archives. So we'll throw that in the archives. Council missive, we'll send to records. We don't need that out there anymore. So it still wants us to forage and eat a basic meal. We've done very little, but we already have fatigue going up. Fatigue and hunger going up already. I'm not sure what these are necessarily. It's not giving me any indication. I'm assuming these are our stats and stuff. So yeah, so injury, fatigue, madness, and hunger. So it's giving me a little bit of representation that's kind of small to see though. But maybe as it fills up with red, it's going to become a bit more obvious. But right now it seems like, I mean, it's very small percentages, but it feels like it should be a bit more noticeable than that. All right, well, we've got 3 items, and we have 3 places, and we have 3 people, so we might as well just jump on that and go ahead and do it. So, Scholar. You're going to go in there. This is a mechanical thing, so I feel like having the Mechanicus... not Mechanicus, Mechanist set that up, and we'll have you check out this. So let's take a look and see if we even can. Yeah, so we're fine. Freezing cliffside. So we're going to set this up. We have everything we need to do it, so that's fine. We can start the task. Over here, the archives, library codex, we've got the stuff we need. We'll go ahead and set that up. And in the guest rooms, require 0, we have 0. So it's fine. This is kind of an easy thing to do. So maybe it's faster too. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll unpause. Everything should be going. Yes. Looks like they're all going about the same speed, but is this going faster? I think they're all going to be done about the same time, despite the size. About the same time. Not exactly the same time, but yeah. Sleep mends many woes. Alright, so we have a whole bunch of odd stuff popped up. Gift of the Snake. That sounds kind of creepy. Coiling around my limbs like a second skin, but I'm not afraid. They hiss, they caress, whispering dark secrets to me. A vision from a dream, a source of inspiration. So we can use this. It's an incantation. Okay, so it's not a romantic thing. It's something we say out loud. Whispers at the witching hour, secret songs woven in threads of rhyme or rhythm. So like a special spell, essentially, we've learned. And it looks like we can use it with anybody. So what we probably want to do, let's put this down here so we have that ready to go. Let's take a look here. We've got Simon's Note and Tracing Charcoal. I'm assuming this is just an item. Another one-use thing. A nugget of crumbling coal. Its dark dust coats everything in a fine film, revealing the patterns of fingerprints and scars. We can use this to reveal the hidden marginalia and erase notes in journals and tomes. Okay, that's kind of cool. So, like, secrets. I'm going to separate. We'll probably keep things. This doesn't have a symbol on the card, though. But this gives us secrets. This gives us the incantations. All right, we've got study code and Simon's note. Take a look at the note. Simon's note. Yesterday, Pa made me get some weird necklace from the cave under the house. Down there, the tunnels get all twisted. It was scary. I think maybe smugglers left it for him. Pa said not to put it on, but it was shining when I dug it up like a red star. I wanted to wear it really bad. But it hurt when I did, like nettles all over. I took it off quick. It's in the chapel now, and Pa goes there at night and makes strange sounds like he's crying. I know for an upper class family it doesn't make sense, but just saying Pa made me immediately jump into this accent. Um, like upper class hoity-toity, and then their kid is like uneducated and can barely write. I worry he's putting it on and is hurting him like it hurt me. I hate it. I want to throw it away, but Pa says no. He's grumpy. He shouted at me the other day for doing drawing in his study, so now I play outside now. I don't mind. I like watching the birds, but it feels extra cold today. Okay, so we have a necklace, and the necklace was in, what room did it say? Organized by time. It's in the chapel. Okay. I was thinking it was in his chambers, but now it's in the chapel. So the spyglass, we can perform a task with it. Oh, odd. If I was to look... Yeah, I'm assuming it's just kind of checking things out. I guess that was foraging, is what we were doing with that. I think it should be a bit more clear about the name of the actions we're performing. Study code. A slip of creased card incised or inscribed with neat lines of numbers and symbols. It appears to be a key code of some kind. On the reverse surface, the image of a key is stamped in blue ink. We can perform a task with this card in the machine room. Okay. So that one we want to just immediately throw. We're just going to immediately do something in the machine room. Since it's machinery, yeah, it does require the Mechanicus. I'm just going to keep saying Mechanicus symbol, mechanical symbol. So everybody is mostly okay. It seems like just going to a location doesn't really do anything, like exploring. So we have a job for you over here. So I feel like we could definitely have that. So this is just sleep. Here we have an action to unlock. Over here we can still search the archives. So maybe there's just more stuff we can find. And the cliff top, of course, we can continue doing our forage action. Okay, well, I think what we want to do is check out the key in the machine room. I don't mind necessarily having them continue doing what they've been doing. Nobody's in desperate need of sleep or anything. So in the machine room, we'll use the code. We have everything we need, so we'll start that. In the archives, we might as well do another search. I feel like, why not? And Clifftop, we might as well continue foraging. Maybe we'll find something different. I look at Courtyard. Yeah, so it kind of seems like we need something in addition to just the room itself in order to do an action. Yeah, so we're just kind of checking everything out again. Still need to eat a basic meal, but we haven't really found anything. This was definitely faster for you. Task complete. But what happened? No tasks. Oh, some stuff popped up in the study. Okay. Too zoomed in to see. So in the study, we have part of a symbol, piece of the puzzle, a fragment of something more. The dark traceries and dislocated symbols offer only a glimpse of what the whole might be. So I feel like we're going to have a big design we have to piece together. Must examine any highlighted cards first. Okay, well that's done. Fine, Gideon's note. To whoever finds this note, do not follow my path, you will not find us. They have their threads in us, all of us. They pull and we cannot resist. If you seek us out, you too will be lost. If I can, and before it's too late, I will close the doors. I will shatter the gates and scatter the fragments, and I beseech you, do not follow. I have made such errors of judgment, such acts of vanity and greed, and for what? This does not bode well. The first evidence of Lord Acheron we find, and it's a garbled, paranoid rant. Perhaps Gideon was trying to escape the Communion's grasp, or perhaps his occult obsession really had driven him insane. Aster looks disturbed. I ain't no detective, but perhaps the Lord was up to no good, and this is him trying to cover his tracks. Atticus's brows knit together with suspicion. He could be trying to set up someone to take the blame for whatever happened to his family. Or maybe he just went mad sitting up here with all his weird books. Somehow I feel like that's not what happened. Do not be so quick to judge. Lord Acheron was an accomplished academic. I don't think we can simply dismiss his writings as the babblings of a madman. I feel there is truth in his words, disturbing though they be, but it is too soon to say what his outburst really means. So we'll send that to records. We've got a trowel and we have the symbol. So the symbol we can't do anything with. It's just probably something we have to piece together, I'm assuming. So for whatever reason to me it looks like a lower left-hand part, but I could be completely wrong. I'm just going to kind of throw it down there. And we found a trowel. We're still working on these. Hunger, everything seems to be basically fine. Trowel. A crooked trowel, tarnished with age and spotted with rust. The scratched metal blade is dented, but the sharp edge is still strong enough to bite into the frosty soil. We can perform a task with this card in the courtyard. Alright, that's what we will do then. So let's bring this down to the courtyard. Task requires one of whatever the root symbol is. I'm assuming you do not have that. You do not. Okay. I could have you rest or something, I guess, while we're waiting, but it's only going to be a few moments for everyone else to be done, and then we can kind of switch. I think Atticus has that. Is that? Yeah, it's roots. So we can do that next. I'm kind of curious about how and when we can save. Yeah, save and exit. Okay, we can save whenever. Good, 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 good. Like that. Hate when games don't give you the option of like saving different points. Like life happens, you gotta go. Like sometimes it can be really frustrating to be like, oh, I have to play for at least an hour before I can save the game. All right, let's just kind of go ahead and finish this out. Gonna let her hang out in the machine room. I'm sure she feels at home there. Should be done about the same time. All right, we got a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll take a look. Moon grain, an ancient grain. Its dry stalks supporting through rough spiked ears, cultivated and cropped with the pretense of making stodgy bread. Its less Puritan use is for fermenting a strong homebrew liquor. So we can actually do something in the kitchen with that. The mushroom. These ink-stained button mushrooms represent the darker side of foraging cuisine. When eaten raw, their rubbery flesh can prompt vivid hallucinations or stomach pain. Would-be Gnostics and cheap lotus eaters often resort to the plant as a free source of short-lived visions. We could eat a handful of these raw in the dining room if we're feeling lucky. Consuming the mushrooms raw can provide secrets or... what is that? I'm not even sure. Some other kind of inspiration, but can also make you ill. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to want to do that anytime super soon. So I'm just going to throw this. I feel like this is a bit less useful. This, we could plan on doing something in the kitchen with it. So over here we found a booster matrix. A machine overload card traced with mathematical logic and yellowed with time. When used in mechanist devices, this item can aid calculations and improve performance. So it gives us a bonus to the mechanist if we need it for certain items. So we've got a bonus to incantations, a bonus to secrets, and then we have a bonus to mechanical stuff, if we need it. An echo. A shadow of a child is here sometimes. His presence flickers like a candle. Increase the madness level of nearby characters every hour. Wow, okay. Immovable transient. So we don't want to stay anywhere near here. I wonder if it's only in the room or if it'll also affect neighboring rooms. Alright, so for the trowel, we do need you over there doing that. So we have a job for you to do. So we'll use the trowel. We're going to plunder the soil. Go ahead and get that working. I could stay in the archives, but I really don't think that's a good idea. Can anyone else cook? Requires 1 food. Nope. You can, though. So actually, we'll have the mechanist work on that. So it's actually brewing something. I thought we'd be cooking maybe some bread or something, but instead we're going to brew some beer. Sure. It still wants me to eat a basic meal, which we don't have any food or anything. I don't have anything for you to do. I think we just kind of get you out of there. How are you doing? You are quite tired. We could have you rest. So if I throw you in there, you can sleep. I don't know how long. I wonder if it's going to be longer than you'd expect, because we're going to rest. Let's go ahead and just kind of do that and see. And it's about the same speed as everything else, so it seems fine. Going to have a few things done. Actually, the kitchen's going a little faster, it looks like. Or not. Strange dreams, but I have rested. So if we look at the scholar now, he's all good, except he's a tiny bit hungry. Gift of the monkey. A scampering shadow, half seen, furry form, darts around the machine room. Tools clatter and shelves creak, but the invisible interloper is helping, not hindering. A hairy hand passes you the part you require, and a chattering giggle fades into the air around you. A lingering vision, a source of inspiration. So that one is also the same, so mechanical. So we have a couple mechanical things we can use. Over here we found a few things, and we made some moonshine. It's not sophisticated, but is effective. We can drink this to calm a fretful mind and quieten the whispers of the night. We can perform a task in the dining room. Did I look at the dining room? Yes, we did. So we do have moonshine. So if we get madness increasing, I'm assuming that's probably what we want to use to kind of help deal with it. So the moonshine, I feel like that's a bit more useful. We can have like things that aid me here, and then usable items here, something like that. And then this we'll just kind of throw wherever. We can kind of piece things together as we progress. Both kind of lit up still. I wonder if we'd level up at a certain point. You are getting a little tired. We could have you rest now. Alright, we also found oil bud. Oil bud is a greasy, thick-stemmed plant. Its wiry branches lined with rows of waxy buds. Engineers and apothecaries frequently cultivate this plant, crushing its buds for natural lubricants they contain. So we can do something in the laboratory. Did I even look at the study? Laboratory is off limits still. Yeah, I don't think we read the info for the study. Faded folios and watermarked journals are scattered across the ancient ink-stained desk. Pale candlelight picks out the edges of gilded tomes, trembling in the drafty air. An old but functional telegraph rests in a corner. Place a mysteries task card in the slot. So, mystery focus. So yeah, like this is like research. This was roots. This is the foraging, mechanical stuff, resting, cooking, drinking. I'm assuming eating as well. Secrets. We don't have any secret items to check out. But we could go ahead and make something with this. I'm not sure. It says we can, like mechanical or like engineers or apothecaries. We can't use it in the laboratory. We can't use the machine room, so we'll just have to hold on to it for now. So it's another useful item we can't use at the moment. Dream leaf. A fragile rose with a crown of deep purple petals. Concoctions made from this delicate plant are rumored to instill vivid dreams and nighttime visions. The city's mystics often endorse it as a catalyst for seances and fortune-telling. Also laboratory. Well, we haven't found anything that useful. We can still dig around in the courtyard. We can still have somebody rest. That's about it. I'm kind of hoping... Was that 1.5 before? I'm not sure. How are we looking? You're very tired at 23%. You're only 14. So I think we swap out and have you rest, but I don't really have anything for you to do. I could have you rest, and you could either continue digging around in the courtyard or checking out the cliff top. No one else has any of the other stats I need for that, right? Oh, actually, you could check out the cliff top. Okay, so we'll do that. You check out the cliff top. And I don't have anything for you to do. So I think we'll keep digging around in the courtyard. I feel like that was like a hint, like there's something we should find in the courtyard is what I'm thinking that's going to unlock another room. Although we did unlock the study, but there's nothing to do in the study. So how about you just kind of hang out wherever. Let's have you rest. And we'll use the spyglass over here. I mean, I could have you drink some booze, but I feel like that's sort of pointless. Madness is totally fine. We have our madness under control. I mean, we could be hanging out in here and pushing it. I don't know how much it increases, so maybe we should just have you jump in, since we do have a way to deal with it. Let's go ahead and do that, instead of having you do nothing. Let's just see how bad the madness is. We'll go ahead and check this out and see how disturbed you get. So resting, hanging out with a ghost. Yeah, it is timing. It is going down, so we could have just kind of waited it out, it looks like. So it's just a limited amount of time the child's ghost was there. And now it's gone. Looks like they're all going to be done about the same time. Okay. Nothing popped up for Atticus. He is getting a bit hungry, though. You've got secrets, don't you? Interesting combinations of skills. You've also got secrets. Do you have secrets? No. Substances. Alright, Just out of curiosity. Madness went up 5%. That's not too bad. I don't know if it'll track down ever, or if we're going to have to get rid of it another way. Tracker's Guide. How to find the salt hare, the broken twig, sign of the storm, where the wild things may be. We've uncovered a selection of expedition notes that might serve to aid our exploration of the cliff tops. It's just a support item, though. So, like, somebody else could use the cliff tops if nobody else. So we don't have anything else with this, so we'll just kind of set that there. So we've got 2 of those, secrets, incantation, and this is the other one there. So we found some more moon grain. So we could make some more if we wanted to. Catalytic powder, a pinch of reactive powder scraped from the briny efflorescence of ancient Highrook stone. A useful reagent in chemical processes. This catalyst can support our activities in the library, so it gives us an extra bonus for library actions, or laboratory actions. Okay, so that's another item. So any of these giving bonuses to different things, just kind of clump them together. Yeah, so I feel like you trowel away. We could keep checking out stuff, because we still haven't made a meal, and I think we need something to get a meal going. For now, I think we'll just kind of stash the moon grain. So something I can make something with, I'm just going to put over there for the moment. And we don't have the laboratory access. I don't want to eat the mushrooms. I feel like that's a bad idea at the moment, and we're fine on madness, so I think we're okay. Nothing else crazy popped up, nothing new. Let's keep digging around in the roots. Over here, we'll continue searching through the archives for anything useful. Your fatigue is getting high enough, I might want to just have you rest now. It's not, like, super high. Yeah, fatigue goes up quite quickly, it looks like. Our hunger is definitely getting up there. So I'm a little concerned about food. If we eat this, does that help? No. It doesn't show anything about, like, victuals or dealing with our hunger. Yeah, I'm going to have you just go ahead and keep foraging, I think. I don't know that if we increase, so it only requires 1, so if we go to 2 of 1, I don't know if that increases our chance or increases what we find. I'm kind of curious. But we'll just go ahead and keep doing it. We meet the requirements, so we'll just go for it. Everybody's doing something useful, so we'll just have to live with that. We can always make some more moonshine next time, but I'm hoping we can find something we can cook into food. Okay. So, hey, raw meat. Look at that. A chunk of meat cut from trapped hare. Its scrawny flesh might make a decent meal when cooked. Well, that we definitely want to do. Over here we found a puzzling journal. A collection of images and torn out pages crammed into an ink-stained notebook. Some of the text is readable, but much of it is written in some sort of cipher. You can perform a task with this in the study. Okay. That we probably would like to do. Just requires 1. I'm assuming you have the requisite... No, you don't have any secret ability. Okay. But we've got other people that do. Or is that... Wait, that was the key symbol. So what is that considered to be if we click on it? Decipher, that's what that is. Yeah, none of us have that ingrained skill, so we'd have to use an item to help with that. And we do have that. We've got the tracing charcoal. Okay. This we want to cook. Over here we found a couple things. Healing sprig. Though they're unremarkable to look at, these small flowers are renowned for their healing properties. We could process the petals in a laboratory to create a restorative treatment. Well, we still don't have access to the laboratory, so we'll put that there with the other laboratory items. And a focus fern. A clutch of leathery leaves, color of an overcast day. When steeped in boiling water, this herb will result in a brew that can help focus and study. So we can do something in the kitchen with that, but I think getting the food prepared is the priority. So that's another kitchen item. Okay, who can cook? Anybody? You can cook. And you can cook. Up here, it doesn't really matter who we have, because nobody has the skill. I'm going to have Scholar Vitali work on the puzzling journal. I think we'll have you rest, and then you can cook the meat. I think that's going to be the plan. Alright, so up here, I'm going to have another item. Wait, do I have that skill? I thought I didn't. Oh, I do. It's just down at the bottom. Mysteries. I just was not looking closely enough. So 1 is fine. Yes, you're going to start that. So we're going to start to decipher the puzzling journal. Over here in the kitchen, we're going to go ahead and cook the meat, which will then let us actually able to, like, have some kind of a meal, and you're going to go ahead and rest. So just managing our tiredness is a bit more than I expected. Hunger might become an issue here shortly, too. We'll see how that goes. We're probably going to have everything done around the same time. Oh, the kitchen might be done faster. Yeah, kitchen looks like it's going to go quicker. Or maybe not. Everything's kind of resized to look that way. We missed her comment there. She's fine, just hungry. We have a basic meal. I wonder if that feeds everybody or just one. It's not tasty or fragrant or even very warm, but it is sustaining. We can all eat this together in the dining room to reduce our hunger. So that's probably something we should do. We could wait until our hunger gets a bit higher. How are we looking when it comes to hunger? 16%, 12%, 12%. Yeah, probably at least 25%. We'll go ahead and wait and do that. Okay, so we have a meal. Where do I want to have that? Something useful. I guess we could have it in this row. That makes some sense, I suppose, because we've got the moonshine here. Okay. So up here we found another one of these. This one, I think that's like higher up, and this is like down, something like that is kind of what I'm thinking. But I could be very wrong. I feel like double circle around, something like that is kind of what I'm thinking. All right, we have Gideon's note, number 2. I have the Valhassa tear and the fragment to accompany it, but at what cost? My son brought more than just a relic back from the depths. He's afflicted with some unearthly wasting disease. The doctors from Cairn Cross could not help him, and he's now so frail that I fear he may not recover on his own. I hope to find some assistance for him via my work or from the Seekers. Perhaps the cure lies somewhere within the walls of Nibiru. In the meantime, I'm sealing the chapel, just as I have closed the laboratory. I don't want anyone else to stumble across my work and end up injured. Okay, didn't open the chapel for us, though. So we're still kind of in a similar situation. So I don't think we want to eat yet. I think we go back to digging. What else do we want to do? We can keep foraging. We could make some more moonshine. Might not be the worst idea in the world. A brew that can help focus and study. That could be useful as well. Yeah, I feel like... Well, don't you have to do that, don't you? because you can't forage. So I don't really have much for you to do other than check out the archive. So I think we'll throw you back in the archive. Let's go ahead and just make some more moonshine. And I believe you could do that. Can I do it with just you anywhere in there? Does it matter? Yeah, I've got to be like in the slot. Alright, so we'll do that. Go back to digging around with the trowel. And we'll start looking through as well. Piecing some stuff together. Nothing... Like, I don't know if we need to find... If we're going to find, like, a key, maybe that's going to unlock something else, like another room. So we have nothing else we can do other than just eating a meal. Or drinking moonshine. What if this affects all of us as well? What if the max 2 might be 2 people at the same time? Basic meal, say, it says max 2, single use, transient. Yeah, not sure. Let's see what happens. Oh, they're on timers. I didn't really realize that before. So the meal, the fern, Raven's cap, all this stuff. I didn't realize this stuff was timing down just like the other stuff we saw. Okay, that's crazy. So we have to worry about stuff running out and disappearing before we can actually make use of it. So we might, I mean, we can hold off on the meal for a while. I think we want to do that as long as possible, since we have a meal ready to go. Perhaps we should focus our efforts elsewhere for a while. So I guess nothing here anymore. Did find another cryptic journal. We've got another moonshine. Throw the other moonshine here. I'm just going to shift these down. I don't really want to go tripping balls with this. I feel like that's a bad idea. So it seems like there's no point doing anything else here. Cryptic journal. Small folio of notes and diagrams scribbled in Lord Acheron's distinctive hand. It's written in a more complex cipher than previous entries. I think we definitely want to jump on that. So you're going to move over to the study and work on that. Once we make something with this, the timer... It seems like once something is like made, it's fine, although, well, the moonshine's fine. The meal still has a timer, and that's a finished item. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. So... could do this. We only have one, so we need one more. So we need a support card. So +1 secrets. The only thing we have for secrets is the tracing charcoal. So we add the tracing charcoal. I'm assuming if we just put it in the room, that's going to help. Yes. So let's jump on that. Fatigue is already 21%. That's crazy. 5, 24. Yeah, we're burning these guys out. It is getting late, but still. We could rest, or we could scavenge for stuff. With the 21% we're at. I mean, that's getting relatively high. Let's have you rest. Since we already have the meal, we're kind of good to go. And then maybe next we'll do the meal and we'll finish this off and we'll see what happens when the introductory tasks are done. Oh, something popped up in the dining room. It's the same... So this must be the son who disappeared. He's now like a ghost, child ghost. It's midnight. That was a good kip. Okay. So we've made owl tea over here. Aromatic brew made from the leaves of focus fern, a subtle infusion that helps focus the mind and sharpen the intellect. So that's a plus to our secrets. So we just used our only secret item, so it's good that we have something else. Up here we've got a whole bunch of stuff. Gideon's Note 3, Seeker's Letter 2. We haven't found Seeker's Letter 1, I don't think. Let's look at the note first. Simon's illness is worrying. The communion tells me that the only cure lies in pressing onwards, but I've already unleashed things I never wanted to see. This morning the spawn of the first circle came again, writhing putrid grubs spilling out of the cracks in the boards. I do not know how to appease them, and I'm so tired. Things are becoming untethered. In my fatigue, I've mislaid the Valhalla, or it has mislaid itself. I must begin hiding the tools and ritual fragments. I cannot have my family fall prey to their effects again. Alright, we have another part of the symbol. That looks like something here or here, maybe? Tell you what, if we move this down, put this like here, because there might be another path out, something like that. This might not be the end either. This might be like middle-ish. Just not sure how big. And Seeker's Letter 2. Dear Gideon, fragments of lore you're compiling are symbolic shards, scraps of shattered knowledge. They may seem incomprehensible in isolation, but gather them all and absorb their lesson. Only then, when you assemble the whole, will a new rite be formed. The opening eye, the ashen hammer, the fallen sky, the broken spear. Each incantation opens the mind to deeper power and knowledge. Persist, brother. You are close to communicating with the first circle of Nibiru. Once the eye has been opened, you will truly begin to see the glory that awaits. The communion. Okay. Things getting a little bit crazy. We might want to eat. We've got time, so we could rest somebody else in the meantime and just keep doing some checks. So who's the most tired? You're fine. You're getting awfully high up. You definitely need a rest. So Vitali should take a nap. Don't want to eat the mushrooms. I think we're just going to let these expire. I don't think I really want to eat these at all. Yeah, I feel like that's a really bad idea. Maybe we're supposed to. I don't know. Everything else, we don't have the laboratory access, so we can't do anything there. We do have an echo in the dining room, so I don't really want to eat the meal yet. So if you forage, you need a rest. So we're going to have you take a nap. What am I going to have you do then? I really don't have anything for you to do. And I can't put more than one person in to take a rest at the same time. Don't have... Well, I mean, we could check out the archives, actually, with you. I wonder if it's different depending on the character that's doing it, like what you're more likely to find. I would assume not. We'll go ahead and check that out. You can go ahead and forage. And you rest. And we'll plan on eating next. But it's going to depend on the timing of the ghost. We want the ghost to be out of there before we do that. Yeah, I feel like the ghost is still going to be there when we're done. So we could have the meal, like the ghost will be there for a short period of time, maybe. Well, maybe he'll be gone. Yeah, alright, good. The ghost is gone. Strange dreams, but I have rested. Nothing up there. We have another puzzling journal. This is just a 1. Collection of images and torn out pages crammed into an ink-stained notebook. Some of the text is readable, much of it's written in some sort of cipher. So it's another one of those. This we want to do something with, but I think we're going to eat first. We got some more raw meat and some more moon grain. So the moon grain we could make into more moonshine. There's really no reason not to because it's good forever. But the moon grain's good forever as well. The raw meat is a bit of an issue. So if we put the meal in the dining room, 18%, 16%, 16%. Can we put everybody in here and then would that work? Eat meal, all characters present. Okay, yeah. So that's fine. So that'll help, that'll get everybody's food back under control. Fatigue, she's getting kind of bad. Not insanely bad. I think we want to do that first. Let's just go ahead and eat a meal. And I'm curious if that's going to cause anything. Are we going to have some new tasks that are going to pop up after that's done? I mean, the ghost left, so we're fine here. The meal does last for quite a while, so once we make one with the meat, we'll be in good shape, I think. Belch. Okay, that helped everybody, right? Hunger 0, hunger 0, hunger 0. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so what we want to do... Oh, that helped fatigue as well. Oh, no. No, no, no. Never mind. You just rested. That's right. So you rest, because you're at 21%. We have another journal we're going to check out up here in the study. You're going to do that. And we could go ahead and make some moonshine or another meal. I think we'll do that. Because once it's in a meal, it's good for a while. So we'll just get rid of your tiredness and we'll check out this as well. Introductory steps complete. You've completed all the introductory steps provided. Well done. You should now be able to continue your investigation without assistance. Match items. Read card and room descriptions for guidance. Try different combinations. Yeah, keep exploring. Try again later. Keep an eye on your character's health and well-being. Good luck. I think I might be doing that a bit too much, honestly. I think we're okay. We're doing all right so far, I think. We've just shown that we have the basic understanding of what we should be doing. Enough to keep everybody alive, anyway. So it's all going to be done around the same time? Yeah, looks like it. Sleep mends many woes. Alright, we get another basic meal out of that. Good for quite a while. We have another symbol, and Gideon's Note 1. I think we've already seen that, though, right? That looks like a top. These, I think, are probably higher, actually. And maybe wider. If it's like this size, I'm not sure. It could be like this, though. Like, that's possible. But I feel like it's bigger than that. And there might be another area out, because the line goes up. It could just be the circle, though. Like, that's possible. Like, this might be it. There might be like an eye shape or something there. The Dreamleaf potions are working. I took another one last night at bedtime, and in my slumber I saw it. A relic of Alhassa, a glowing shard of light, an ancient pendant buried in deep chambers of the undercoves, just as the Seekers said. I sent Simon down to find it. Oh, you sent your own kid down. He didn't just find it himself. My old eyes are worse than his, and he loves to explore the caves. He's nimble, and the Ictus sleep even lower than the sleep caves, so I knew he would be safe. So the Ictus, I wonder if it's some kind of monsters. Following the outline of my dream, he found the pendant, returning it proudly to me, his eyes bright with excitement. I hope one day to show him the wonders he helped bring forth, but for now, just a few more fragments, and I can complete the first steps of my journey. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's only 2 more to fill the symbol, but I was thinking it would be bigger. Like the line would like end on the edge of the symbols. Okay, we're now in okay spots, but I don't really have anything there to do. We could make some moonshine. Fatigue is fine with everybody at the moment. Well, he's getting kind of bad again. It's amazing how fast everyone gets tired. So we're just taking like cat naps as we're exploring. Kind of seems like, rather than actually sleeping through the night, which might be a good idea in a situation like this. You have no idea what happened. I feel like there's no point doing anything here anymore because we did get that pop-up. So yeah, I don't have enough for everyone to do. I mean, I kind of can. So like you can scavenge for us, I suppose. We'll go ahead and make that, and we'll check out the library codex again. So we'll keep foraging. Let's make the moonshine. And here we're going to go ahead and check out the codex again, looking for more stuff in the archives. I feel like it's odd that we haven't had more stuff come up, but maybe once we get enough, maybe it's just enough to like fill this. So like 2 more items we can explore, and then that would be good. We'd be all set. Progress. Why is that a different color? In progress. Progress. Yeah, why is that a different color? I don't know, it's just being weird for a second. Oh, we have our new person showed up with a lab code. Dr. Caligar. Apologies for the late arrival. I had to visit a patient in Direwich yesterday. The fellow had developed Calxon's compliance, bones like rubber, most intriguing. Dr. Caligar's fingers lace and unlace. Coincidentally, my guild was summoned here recently to tend to the Acheron's son. He was suffering from an unusual infection. Fortunately, my colleagues were unable to diagnose the cause. Dr. Caligar, your late arrival is of no matter. We've barely unpacked our own equipment. The mansion is somewhat disturbed and various chambers are inaccessible, sealed with mechanist locks. I believe that one of those locations might house a simple laboratory we could make use of when we gain access. I suspected as much. My colleagues sensed foul play when they visited here before. Lord Acheron was adamant that our team should not investigate without his supervision. Luckily, a junior analyst had the foresight to retain the laboratory code. We should be able to gain access using the copy I have here. Very smart, Miss Caligar, but it don't surprise me. You were as sharp as a blade when you fixed me up and my crew from Keel fever last spring. Saved us from a right reckon, you might say. Atticus seems almost coy. I owe you one. If you need any alchemy supplies or help with shifting stuff, just let me know. Alright, we have another person to mess with. You are showing up super tired. Alright. Wait, was this alcoholism? Oh, I didn't even notice if we had conditions down here. Alice Caligar is the head of infectious studies at Canecross Yard. Her skill with the syringe and the scalpel is second only to her ability as a laboratory technician. Rarely seen without her mask, even by her colleagues, she hides her face and her history under the Raven's brow. So, alcoholism. If the addiction is not fed, the sufferer suffers. Character will suffer an injury each dawn unless they have drunk alcohol in the previous 24 hours. Staying sober will eventually remove this condition. So if you can survive taking damage over and over again, it's fine. But I don't know how much damage, I guess till we get to 100%, but we don't have any way to heal damage currently. Okay. Do you have the lab code? A slip of creased card inscribed with neat lines of numbers and symbols. It appears to be a key code of some kind. On the reverse surface, the image of a vial is stamped in green ink. You can perform a task with this in the machine room. We're kind of in the middle of doing something, but we'll go ahead and set that up as we're ready to go. Can you do that yourself? I think that's a no. Requires 2, and you've got 0. So yeah, I think probably the best thing for you to do is to rest, because you're super tired. So now we're going to have you sort of out of sync with everybody else, though. So you go ahead and get a rest. 4 people in action. These three will be done at the same time, then we'll be slightly delayed with Dr. Caligar. We'll probably end it relatively soon here. We had a pretty good check of how the game is and how it plays. Definitely interesting. Like I said, I probably would prefer... Okay, saying whatever. Did we not? Yeah, we didn't actually make the alcohol that time. Maybe there's a limit, so we have 2. That's weird. So we used the item, but we couldn't actually do it. We found Mr. Mouse. We'll check that out in a second. So more raw meat and more tracing charcoal. Let's do this. Tracing charcoal. Was Tracker's Guide the same, or was it LT? I think it was LT, wasn't it? Yes. So I'm just going to shift things over. Just want to have different stuff sort of clustered together so we know we have different things to affect stuff. The raw meat will go bad eventually. No commentary here because you're not done yet. Let's check out Mr. Mouse, the book. It's just a book. Okay. Mr. Mouse lived in a house. Not his house, but the house of a great king. Some people don't want mice in their homes, but the king was always asleep and dreaming. So Mr. Mouse was free to wander the house without fear. Most mornings, Mr. Mouse would climb up the curtains and look out the windows, gazing across the ash-colored land to the evil river beyond. He knew that the river was the place where visitors would arrive, their feet making pretty patterns in the ash-gray sand. He wanted to visit the river, but he was afraid he would get lost on the way, so instead of venturing outside, he would watch and whisper. Okay, kind of pointless. Anyway, I think we'll go ahead and set things up, and then I'm going to go ahead and save the game, and we'll call it good. So you work on that. So you do need a mechanical assistance. We do have a couple. We've got the booster matrix, and we've got the gift of the monkey. Let's just use the gift of the monkey. Seems appropriate. You're still resting. So I'm just going to go ahead and assign the task to start. I don't know. We could go ahead and make another meal. You're quite tired. Could just swap you in once Caligar is done resting. I don't suppose you can cook, can you? No. Okay. I wonder if that's the hint that, like, stop bothering checking out the archives. There are a couple more things to find, though, down here. Oh, that's weird. When we're zoomed in and I move the screen down, that's as far down as it'll go. If we want to see more, we have to actually zoom out. That's odd. Okay. We could wait on the raw meat. I think that's fine. You're not that tired yet. You have this set. I think I'll have you go back to searching. And I'm going to have you do nothing. I'm just going to swap you out to rest, I think, after. Because we can sort of hold off on doing anything else. Or we could go ahead and cook and make a meal. But I think we go from raw meat timer to basic meal timer. I don't know if it'll add whatever's left on the raw meat, or if we can just kind of run this down really low before making some raw meat. But I think that sets me up fairly well for what we want to do, so I think we'll go ahead and save it there. Definitely interesting, an interesting board game. I feel like it's going to get more and more complicated, and if I take a break from this, I feel like coming back to this could be very difficult, like remembering what I was doing and what was happening. But definitely kind of cool. So this is Horror of Highrook. I've been Disturbing Puppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one.